Hey everybody, this is Tim Charron, and welcome to my brand new podcast called the Charron Zone. Blah, 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 blah. Welcome to the Charron Zone. We have a very special guest, as you guys can see on our ghetto video right here, our super duper setup. We have the most special, important guest that I could possibly have on my podcast.
Thank you.
The one, the only, Smidge. So, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks for asking. So, you wanted to talk about a little bit about business for our amazing podcast listeners and viewers on our ghetto little setup here. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do, young lady?
I do medical collections, very specialized, not what everybody always thinks that I'm sending them bills. We specialize in collecting from insurances, certain payers, certain types of collections, depends on, and a certain system as well for our clients.
So it's very specialized. It's a huge industry.
Oh, it's just out of the one system. The one system for this particular type of billing is $15 billion in the U.S.
Billion with a B.
Per year.
Yeah. So why don't you let everybody know how you get started at it?
I worked for someone for a long time and just kind of happened to step my foot into it. It wasn't something I aspired to be. Ended up really liking it. I started out when I was very young, thought it was going to be temporary, realized I liked it, and then thought, why don't I just do this on my own? And sounds easy. Wasn't that easy, but I did.
Yeah, and you started to think of doing it on your own years before you even left that job.
Exactly. And that job was, I could see there were some changes happening. Wasn't making as much money as I was in the beginning. So that was part of why I really kind of pushed going out on my own. And initially I was making even less money when I first started.
Explain to people how you transitioned from working in an office for someone doing this specific thing, and you transitioned to starting your own business, which is a remote business, so you do everything online.
Exactly, and that's the benefit of today's technology is everything's online. It's so much easier to work from home. You definitely have to have a lot of discipline if you're going to do that, though. You can't just work from home and think that, oh, this is a breeze. And when you start your own thing, you have to pitch yourself. You have to be a salesperson. You have to call people. That's how I got my clients. Like, you have to call them. It's keeping in touch. And
how gut-wrenching is that?
Oh, it's terrible. I was terrified the first time I did it. Now I love it. And the first time I talked to my very first client, it was the most horrific thing I could possibly think of. You just don't even know what to say. But
it's like I was talking on another podcast about booking yourself and calling people and having to basically pitch yourself, and it forces you to become bulletproof. It forces you to either develop a thick skin and deal with rejection. Rejection?
Yes, rejection.
So you either deal, I believe, and I hate to interrupt you, but I believe that the more rejection that you can deal with in your life, the bigger and better you're going to at least make your business and with other things as well,
right. Exactly. And you definitely develop the thick skin, and you definitely get to the point in the beginning you kind of have to take the clients that you don't really want, and people are going to try and not pay you or come up with excuses, and you have to deal with that, and that's stressful. And then once you get to a certain point, you don't have to deal with those people anymore. You can pick and choose and love the people that you work for and love the people that work for you. I mean, that's how I started, by myself, and then started hiring people as I grew, and I think we're up to 10 or 11 people, something like that now, working for us.
Yeah. And what I want to do, I think this is cool, because what I think would be cool to do is kind of go over the parallels between what I do and what you do. And that's a good concept that people should understand is after you go through all the, I mean, number one, when you're trying to build anything, doesn't matter, but any kind of business, it's gonna be brutal at the beginning. You're gonna lose money. You left your job. You were making no money. Then when you do get clients, or you do start your little business, or you do start playing gigs, then you're gonna make a lot less money than you did when you were working for someone.
Right. Yeah.
So that building process is brutal, but once you get it, once you gain momentum, then comes the next phase where what we've been doing is, picking and choosing who you're working for, or
right.
Yeah, I mean, your clients. Basically, a great book, Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Workweek, was where we kind of came up with
Got some tips from that. Yeah.
Concept was like fire your clients.
Mm-hmm.
Your clients that are a pain in the ass. Your clients that are paying you this much, like 10% of your income, but yet, and this is usually how it works, they're paying you like a little bit of your income, but they're 90% of your headaches.
Exactly. They're the one. Exactly. And to step back a little bit, also, starting your own business, I really think I see a lot of people that just say, "Oh, I'm gonna, be a whatever, I don't know, a fisherman," ballerina? And it doesn't even know how to fish.
Ballerina?
Or is that what you want to be?
Yeah, that's for another podcast.
All right.
Though.
So maybe a fisherman or something like that, or a banker, and
fisherman.
They have no desire and have never been fishermen, have no desire to do any of those things. It doesn't make sense. You have to start in something that actually interests you, or that you're already have your foot in the door, like we did. He was already playing music at a very young age. I had done a bunch of businesses when I was younger, but they were just random, stupid things that, of course, didn't work out. So it has to be something that because just deciding you want to work from home or whatever, or you want to start a business.
You want to be a gemologist because they make a lot of money, but you have no interest in gems.
Right. It makes no sense. Don't do that.
That's stupid. Don't do that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, what a concept. You can be working for someone, working at an office, working for someone else's business, learn that business, and then go off and do it yourself.
Right.
And that's exactly what you did.
Exactly. And I took the initiative to do very different parts of the job.
Yeah.
Which, if they wanted help in a different area that had nothing to do with my position, I always helped out, which I'm glad I did, because it taught me so much in the industry, and I still don't know it all, but it definitely taught me a lot. So that when I did start my own business, I already had all this knowledge in different areas. Yeah,
so I'll pull that to parallel with what I do. And what I did was, I did thousands, hundreds, definitely over 1,000 solo gigs, and I ran my own sound. We ran my own sound.
Yep.
I mean, we did, I do all my own, did all my own graphic design. I taught myself how to do graphic design, did a lot of my own video stuff, did all of my own bookings, pretty much.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I manage all of that stuff that you think, oh my God, what a pain in the ass when you're going through it, when you're first starting, you're learning all this stuff that you don't need to learn.
You call people and it was like
terrible. Oh yeah. Calling people and booking myself was horrible. I mean, I didn't want to do it. I asked her to do it. She was doing it for a while. We would fight like cats and dogs about it, because it's the hardest thing, I think, in the music business, if you're trying to book yourself. But it's gold. Once you figure out that you have to do it, basically, otherwise when you're first starting, no one's going to do it for you, and nobody's going to do it as good as you're going to do it.
Right. And that goes for most businesses. Like, you kind of have to do everything yourself in the beginning, and you're going to have to do the stuff that you hate.
Yep.
And then you grow, and then you're like, I don't have to do this anymore. I'm going to hire this person. They can do it.
Yeah. Because of those 5 years that you put in the trenches of doing all the dirty work. And I'm so glad now that I had to learn how to do contracts, do invoices. I learned how to, and you did the same thing. That's why I'm making the parallel to it, it's like you learned how to put yourself out on a limb every day and have to cold call people 10, 20 phone calls a day. You still do it.
Yes, I do.
Right.
But
now it's
easier.
Not
as it's fun now.
Now it's easier. That's but that's a skill within itself, just to be able to how many people cannot get on the phone and call people to basically to sell.
Right.
They're afraid of doing that. And, I was too, and you were too, when you're doing it for yourself. But now it's an invaluable skill that I feel like we both developed regardless of what we're doing. Like we can do it for anything.
Right. And I think, for both of us, you're trying to sell yourself without trying to sell yourself. Like we don't call and say, hey, do you want to hire my services? Or, hey, do you want to book my band? And we're awesome. Mm-hmm. It's more, I just want to know who the contact person is, where I can mail something out to. And then you use that as a tool to kind of get them hooked. You're not trying to be a car salesman, and then you send them something in the mail. And then you call and follow up and say, I just wanted to make sure you got it.
Right. What I was going to say, I just thought of a concept. Let your work do the selling. Right? You have to have a great website.
Yeah.
I mean, not even a great website, but you have to have
something.
You have to have a really good website, and you have to have credentials and experience and be able to show that on your website. Like you have all that experience. Testimonials. And for me, I put up video and people that I've opened for and my tour dates and stuff. So you need to be able to show people what you've already done. And you don't have to tell them what you're doing or tell them what you can do. Just show them what you've done.
Exactly. Right.
Boom.
That's it.
Put that on the fridge.
Well, let's do it.
All right.
I say we do it.
Come on.
I think we're out of time.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap this one up. I mean, it's pretty short. It's only 12 something. So I hope you guys get something out of it. And obviously it's going to be the first of many that we have with this beautiful young lady. And thank you for talking about your business. And I hope people have questions for you. So hit us up on any of the social media channels. Send a message on YouTube. Post a message underneath on YouTube. And we'll have Smidge answer some of your questions. All right? So make sure you subscribe to everything. Thank you for watching our ghetto video. Peace.